What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Guns Locked. I'm Gunther the Great, and today we're going to be looking at YBN Nahmir's dreadlocks. You guys have definitely requested this, so I definitely wanted to get back to you guys. Interesting set of locks. Young kid, I think he's like, how old is he, 16? So he's a young fella. I think it's pretty interesting when young people have dreadlocks. Let's look at the young fella, YBN Nahmir's dreadlocks. So in this first photo right here, you can definitely tell that he started out his hair with twisting with gel. And the reason I say that is because the way that his tips are is that they're blunted off, and his hair still kind of looks a little bit young and not matured completely. One thing I think is really cool about his hair and about his dreadlocks is that he doesn't get a lineup, and I think that's something that a lot of people kind of frown upon. Is like, yo, I don't get a lineup either. I stopped getting lineups about a month ago, and it's one of those things. It's like growing out your hairline kind of makes it a little better, even though a lot of people are against it because it can result in your hairline receding, and a lot of people don't want their hairline to recede. And trust me, nobody wants their hairline to recede, especially not me. But it's one of those things, like if you're not maintaining your hair all the way down to the root, which you can tell in this photo that he doesn't maintain it all the way down to the root, and if he does, he'll maintain it and then he'll let it grow out a little bit and give it some time in between the maintenance periods, which a lot of people should do. You should give it time in between the maintenance. Like say you twist your hair, or you do interlocking, or you crochet your hair, give your hair time to mature after you do a maintenance method, because your hair has to like mature after that. It's like feeding something and allowing it to grow afterwards, like working out a muscle. You work it out, and then during the rest time is when the muscle gets built, because it's breaking down and then it builds up. Same thing with dreadlocks. Maintenance method is pretty much like breaking down the dreadlock almost, and then it builds up from there. But let's move on to another photo which shows you how his roots are. If you kind of zoom in, you can see that his hair is really fluffy at the roots, which tells us that he doesn't really maintain it a lot, even if you were to maintain it. But if you're not maintaining it as frequently, it's going to be frizzy at the roots. And the thing is if it's not as frizzy at the roots, it means that you maintain it more often. The thing what sucks is if you don't maintain it as much, then you maintain it like a few times, it's still going to be frizzy at the roots, as long as like you're washing your hair, doing the things that you need to do to maintain it. Actually, after the maintenance method, which that was a mouthful in itself. And moving on to another photo that shows us the roots of his hair again. It's pretty cool to see the separation on his dreadlocks. You can see that he has not a lot, which I think that's a good thing, because it allows your hair to be strong, which also kind of tells us his hair texture, which I think his hair texture is probably a 4A or a 4B. Now, if he had a 4C, I feel like you would have more dreadlocks, because if your hair is in the 4C, then that means that you would have more hair to play with and able to lock up. One thing I think is really cool about his dreads, if you see his tips, on his tips they're very curly. I think that's really interesting to see. But just wanted to stop by this photo one more time to show his hairline. He is not getting it lined up, and I think that's really cool. I think it's something that a lot of us should do, is like, yo, just let your hairline grow out, put it into the dreadlocks, and let it roll. But gonna move on to that very quickly. And then this photo is the photo that I could tell that he did do the twisting method with gel. And the weird thing to see is that the hair in the front of his head is maintained a little better than the hair in the back of his head. And that's just normal with how you sleep on your hair and how your hair is maintained throughout that whole process. Because obviously most people sleep on the back of their head, and that's the hair that's gonna loosen up quicker than the one in the front. And the hair in the front is a little more delicate than the hair in the back. Hair in the back is usually more rough and can stand up a little better. But that is YBN Nahmir. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. You guys did request it, so I wanted to give it straight to you guys. So if you enjoyed it, please drop a like and comment down below who I should do next. And if you're subscribed, please comment down ammunition so I know you're part of the team. And if you're not part of the team, please subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.